Welcome to Axium Portal Software. In this video, we're going to show you how to add a scroll bar or a pop-up screen to your Axium interface. First thing we're going to do, we already started our project here. I'm just pulling up a project that I've already created. I already have my windows, I already have all of my pages made up, and this system is fully programmed. At this point, what I want to do is add a scroll. What I want to do is be able to access these sources from different pages without having to go back to the home page. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a scroll bar with icons on it. The way I'm going to do that is go up to the top corner here. It doesn't really matter anywhere on your screen. Go ahead and right click. What we're going to add at this point is a scroll panel. Go ahead and add a new scroll panel. At this point, you're going to go ahead and size that scroll panel to where you actually want it to be. In this case, I want it to be up on my top banner. Now, since I want it to scroll, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller than the objects that I'm going to put in. That'll give you the ability to scroll back and forth left to right. Now, I can make this as long as I needed it to, or as short as I needed it to. In this case, this is going to be about right for me right here. I'm going to go ahead and place that. I'll just double click on the box right here. What that does, that opens up a properties box for that scroll panel. I'm going to go down to edit layout. Once I go to edit layout, this is my actual panel right here. Now from here, I could type text in there, or in this case, I'm going to add icons that represents all of my devices that I have on here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead to my gallery. And in my case, I'm using icons. The first thing I have on there is a tuner. So what I'm going to do is find out what I have that will represent a tuner. In this case, I have a radio. Go ahead and drag that over to the box. Now once you drop that in the box, you can manipulate it within the box to make it fit the way you want it to fit. In some cases, you want to go ahead and crop these things first to get any white or anything out. In this case, I'm really not that concerned with that. So I'm just going to go ahead and size that to fit my box there. Next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and grab my next device. In this case, I have a Blu-ray. So I'm going to go ahead here to my icons, my high-res icons. I'm going to go ahead and grab a symbol for Blu-ray. Once again, once I get it in that box, I can go ahead and size that the way I want to make it proportionate and make it look the way I want it to look in this case. Next thing I have is a Sonos. What I've done, I've actually went ahead and imported a Sonos photo. So what I'm going to do is go ahead down and grab that. Once again, drop it in the box. And once again, you can go ahead and scale that or size that. Make it look the way you want it to look. You can make it smaller or larger. Just go ahead and manipulate it and get it in the right spot. Okay, next thing I have there is a media player. So what I need is just something to represent, in my case, what I would call a media player. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is grab iPod. Go ahead and drag that in there. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and resize that and make it somewhat proportionate. Okay, and my last device is actually Apple TV. Now what you want to do at this point is you want to kind of make sure everything's kind of evened out and straight in here. And the way I'm going to do that is this. I'm just going to go ahead and hold Control, and I'm going to highlight these things individually. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the tools that I have here. First thing I'm going to do is make sure that all the bottoms are level. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that they're all centered, and then I'm going to equal the space in between them. Okay, so that looks fairly good at this point. Next thing I would have to do with this is go ahead and right click on one of them or all of them. Now go ahead and convert them to buttons. And what I'm doing right now, they're just pictures. Once you right click on here, go down to convert to an image to button. That way I can go ahead and put a command on these. And what do I want for a command? I want to actually go to these pages. So what I do, I already created macros in my system to match these individual devices. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the macros and just drop right onto these buttons here. Blu-ray and my Sonos. Media, I don't have one, but that's fine. I'll grab Apple TV and I'll go ahead and do that. Okay? Okay, now I went ahead and I created this scroll bar. The next thing I'm going to do is go back to my home page here. And here's my scroll bar. This is what I actually created right here, and this is how it looks. Now what I could do, I want to be able to reach this from any other page. just going to right click on it and go ahead and copy it. I'm going down to my tuner page and paste it there, my Blu-ray page. I'm going to go ahead and paste that there. Go to my Sonos page, paste it there, my media page, go ahead and paste it there, my audio page, and my Apple TV page. Okay, so I'm done with this at this point. The next thing I just need to do is go ahead and upload it to my project. Once you upload it to your project, this is what it looks like. Here's my scroll page right here. I can go ahead and I could scroll to a device there. I can go ahead and select a device. It goes to that actual page there. It's just kind of a neat, cool way to actually do this. Now, you remember, you can make the scroll box as big as you need it to be, as small as you need it to be. And it doesn't have to be this. It could be text or whatever you choose to put in your little scroll box there. And that's how I would go ahead and set up a scroll box on my interface. Next thing I'm going to show you how to do is a pop-up. What a pop-up is sometimes you'll need to give an informational text if you push a button. In our case, here's our scenario. Our scenario is we have an Apple TV. But to see the Apple TV, we need to actually go ahead and change our inputs on our television set because our TV does not have discretes. I'm making this up. Our TV does not have discretes, and we need to physically go and switch the inputs on there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a pop-up that reminds us anytime we go to hit that Apple TV button to go ahead and change the input on the television. The way you add a pop-up is this. Go ahead and right-click in the box right there, anywhere on your screen that you want to pop up. Go ahead and add a new pop-up. And here we have our pop-up box. And from here, you can resize that pop-up box to anything you want it to, or any size that you want it. Make it any width, make it any height that you may want that box to be. In this case, we're just going to add text to our box. So here's our pop-up right here. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and, once you have that open there, go ahead and click on that pop-up box right there. Once you double click on that, right here is where you're going to actually place your text or graphic or whatever you want to place there. In our case, we're going to go ahead and put text there. I'm going to right click. I'm going to add new text. And our text is going to say switch TV inputs. Okay, then we click OK. And this is where my pop-up is actually going to show up right here in the very center of that box. Okay, so once you do that, and once you have that pop-up there, just go ahead back to your main screen or whatever page you want to place that on. In this case, I want to place it on here. And this is how we're going to go ahead and add that pop-up to a button. What you do, you go ahead, you just right-click on the button that you want that pop-up to show up on. Go ahead down to Link to Pop-up. And go ahead and choose the number pop-up that you just created. As you can see, I created quite a few. But number 7 is the one that I just created. So when I push this button here, my pop-up is going to actually show up. Okay, so once I go ahead and I get that on that screen, and I go ahead and I associate that pop-up with the button here. Okay, and once you go ahead and upload that, once that's done, you can go ahead to your device, go ahead and upload to your device. And here, we put that on, I believe, our Apple TV page. So now when I actually hit this button that I put there, there's my pop-up. Pop-up says switch to TV. And that's a toggle there. So if I hit it again, or if I hit another button, I can just simply make it disappear. Okay? Or I could leave as a reminder, once I push the menu button, I can toggle that button. And it's reminding me, okay, since it's not showing up on my TV, to go over here and actually go ahead and switch my inputs on my TV. And that could be anything you want. You can have as much text in that box as you need to. You can make that box as large as you want to and put a whole paragraph in there for people to read. And that's how you add pop-ups and scrolls to your Axiom portal software devices.